Serendipity, that alignment we at times don't recognize or are afraid to acknowledge because it feels unsafe to accept something so simple of doors opening not because you forced them, but because your frequency finally matched what you've been calling in. And that got me thinking, how often do we ask for signs and then miss them? How often do we pray for miracles while standing in the middle of one? How often do we beg the universe for clarity while our bodies are already speaking the truth we're afraid to hear? Hey, love. Welcome back to the LiftOneSelf podcast. I'm your host, Nat Nat. If this is your first time here, welcome home. And if you've been walking this journey with me, thank you for coming back. Thank you for trusting this space with your tender, seeking heart. And the most valuable thing you have is your time and attention. If this episode lands for you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that they're not off track, they're just in process. Share it with somebody who's been questioning if they're doing this whole life thing right. Spoiler alert, there is no right way, only your way. Before we go deeper, let's pause and take a mindful moment together. If you're seated or still, place a hand on your belly or your heart. Feel the warmth of your own touch. And if you're moving, just slow your next breath. Now, with me, inhale gently through your nose. Let it rise into your ribs, your back, your belly. Feel your body expand with your life force. Hold for just a moment. Now, exhale slowly out of your mouth like a quiet sigh, like you're releasing what you no longer need to carry. Let's do one more. Inhale deeply. Feel the breath open space inside you, creating room for what wants to emerge. And exhale. Feel yourself arriving here in this moment with nothing to prove, nothing to fix, nothing to chase. Let your body know it's safe to receive truth today. Let your nervous system know it's safe to stop performing and start feeling. Again, take another deep breath for yourself. Hold and gently release. So here's something I want to ask you gently, yet honestly. How often are you asking for a sign and feeling like it's not appearing? How often are you scanning the horizon for validation while ignoring the whispers in your own chest? And could it be that the sign is here? It's just not the answer you were hoping for, not the yes you wanted, not the green light you were craving, not the sweet validation that would make everything feel easier. Maybe the silence is the sign. Maybe the door that keeps closing is the sign. Maybe your exhaustion is your nervous system whispering, this path isn't for you anymore. Maybe your restlessness is your soul saying there's something bigger waiting. Sometimes the signs don't look or feel like alignment. It feels like disruption, like space being cleared, like a relationship ending, not to punish you, but to make room for love that actually sees you, like a job that no longer fits, not because you failed, yet because you've grown beyond its container. You're not off track, love. You're in transition. And transition is messy and uncomfortable and asks you to trust what you cannot yet see. Spirit didn't forget you. Spirit is positioning you. But here's what they don't tell you about divine timing. It rarely feels divine when you're in it. It feels like chaos. It feels like everything is falling apart. It feels like you took a wrong turn somewhere and now you're lost in a forest you don't recognize. Yet, what if you're not lost? What if you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't match the vision board on your wall? Alignment doesn't always feel like bliss. Sometimes it feels like grief, like mourning the version of yourself that got you this far but can't take you where you're going. Sometimes it feels like shedding identities that used to keep you safe, but now feel like costumes that no longer fit. Sometimes alignment feels like choosing stillness when every part of you wants to fix or chase or control. It feels like sitting with uncertainty when your mind is screaming for answers. Gosh, do I know that one so much. It feels like trusting your inner knowing when the whole world is telling you you're wrong. I pulled a card before this episode and it said, "You are a channel for providence. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune." That line landed hard because I realized how often I've dimmed my knowing to make others comfortable, how often I've shrunk my gifts to fit the room, how often I've apologized for taking up space with my truth. Here's what I'm learning: when you stop dimming your knowing, when you stop shrinking your gift, you don't just change your life, you ripple out something that shifts the collective. Your healing becomes permission for others to heal. Your courage becomes an invitation for others to be brave. Your authenticity becomes a mirror that shows others what's possible. And that's why this moment matters. That's why the discomfort is sacred. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you and through you for all of us. So, what does this look like in real life? It looks like trusting the soft no that comes from your body before your mind can rationalize it away. It looks like saying yes to opportunities that scare you and excite you in equal measures. It looks like having conversations you've been avoiding because they might change everything. It looks like accepting that you might disappoint people when you start living authentically. It looks like understanding that not everyone will celebrate your growth, and that's not your responsibility. It looks like recognizing that the signs you've been asking for might not come as burning bushes or divine intervention. They might come as a feeling in your gut, a dream that won't leave you alone, a stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear, a pattern that keeps showing up until you finally pay attention. The universe is conspiring for you, not against you. But conspiracy requires co creation, it requires you to feel the magic halfway, to take the inspired action, even when you can't see the whole staircase, to trust that the breadcrumbs you've been given are enough to take the next step. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too much or not enough. You are becoming, and becoming is a process, not a destination. It's messy and beautiful and requires you to be patient with yourself as you shed what no longer serves and step into what's waiting. And trust me, I really hate this process. I've had to learn the muscle of patience. So here's your invitation this week: stop asking for a softer sign. Start listening to the one that already arrived. Maybe it's in the way your body contracts when you think about the situation you keep trying to fix. Maybe it's in the way your heart expands when you imagine a different path. Speak the thing you've been diluting. Let it be loud. Let it be inconvenient. Let it be true. Choose your inner knowing over external comfort. Choose your growth over others' approval. Choose your becoming over staying small. The timing is not perfect. You are. You are the sign someone else is praying for. You are the miracle someone else is waiting to witness. You are the permission slip someone else needs to trust their own path. If this episode met you in a moment you needed, share it with someone who's been questioning their path. Let them know they're not behind, they're just becoming. Send it to a friend who's been asking for signs. Remind them they might be standing in the middle of their answer. You're not here to chase signs, love. You're here to become one. And as always, Please remember to be kind to yourself. In the becoming, in the questioning, in the trusting, you matter. Your path matters. Your timing matters. Until next time, keep trusting what you know to be true, even when, especially when, the world can't see it yet.